Hey guys, so I wanted to show you really quickly one of the custom actions that I made up myself. It really does help with editing. So first thing I do, so this is one of our sessions that we did. It's about 3 hours. One of the first things that I do with the session, I would actually do this all at one time, but just to save time, I will cut this one, the ending of it. And what I do is I have a hotkey for it, and I do an auto trim slash split items. You can check out those settings. You can play around with those settings. These are pretty good for what I use it for. Basically, it's going to go through and cut everything that's under a certain volume. So I'll click that. And it went through and it cut all the dead space. I use this because I multi-track, and it just makes it a lot easier to move stuff around instead of constantly cutting and moving and constantly cutting and moving. So if we check out this track.
Yeah, and also, she's going to be so upset that we didn't get her Ruby back, guys.
Yeah, Zipper.
Yeah, so you can hear me talk right here, and you could hear Serena talk right here. This edit that I did is non-destructive, so we could always highlight and heal that all together. So you could also hear this little laugh that he does, but that is not what I want to show you. What I want to show you was this action script that I made up. So say you're editing and she's talking.
Hello?
And
Hi.
and no one says anything during that break. So I have a little, say I want to get rid of this talking, whatever, but I have this big break right here where no one says anything.
Hello?
There's also a little reverb there, but it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars away from that.
Hi. You hear from the shadows. Maybe.
So let's say I've been editing this entire time and I'm at 3 hours, 19 minutes, and I want to move everything that's on the left to the right. Normally, I would take this all and group it together, and then I feel safe enough to slide everything. The problem with that is you have to zoom out, you have to select, and that can be very time consuming, and it can hurt your fingers after a while. So also the way I multi-track with all these blank spaces and little spaces, it's just so easy to make a simple mistake and you end up messing up your entire edit, like something like that, right? So I came up with a script, and what it does is, well, I'll show you.
And goes, hello?
Hi. You hear.
So with one hotkey, what it did was it highlighted everything to the left of the cursor. So everything to the left back here. It grouped it all together. It highlighted it, grouped it all together. Then it moved it all to the next clip over. So if you remember, this clip was right there. When I use my script and I press this button, it's going to go exactly one of these little grids away from the next track on the right of the cursor. So watch.
Hi.
So that spacing, you can see it's like a little bit over that line and it's a little bit under that line. I find that one grid spacing in Reaper, when you have it set to like 120 BPMs, is about a breath. So I kind of trust it. For the most part, I can move this around and I don't even have to zoom out. I know if I'm moving this around, it is taking everything to the left and moving it for me. So I can just move it around however I want. Let me take it off this grid so it goes a little smoother. Yeah, actually that, yeah, put the grid back on. Yeah, so if I hit it again,
Hi.
and I can kind of trust that too. So look at,
This conversation and goes, hello?
Hi. You hear from the shadows.
right? That sounds pretty good. That sounds like it belongs there. For whatever reason, one grid length is a breath, and it just makes it easier. So when I'm editing now, all I'm doing is I do what's called I call it a hard edit, I guess, is where I listen to all the tracks and I fix the spacing and get rid of any of these little reverby thing. Like looking at this is probably the main voice talking, and this clip right here is probably a little reverb of it.
How high up is the main hall?
Yeah, that's only one voice, so I would just delete that. I also made my delete key the tab button, just because my left hand is on the keyboard a lot. But yeah, I just want to show you that one. You could see it in action, like something like this.
What you see.
All that dead space, let's delete that, and now it sounds like this.
And to see what you see.
21.
You look up.
Right?
See what you see.
21.
You look up and.
Perfect. Okay, I hope that helps, guys. Let me know if you want that script. Okay.